Alright YouTube, what is going on? We're coming back at you with a video today. Today we have a viewer requested video. Quite a few requests for this video. My number one viewed video on my channel is the 10 best knives under $100. It's almost to 60,000 views right now, which is blowing my mind because when I made that video I had no idea it was going to be that big. So quite a few people have reached out to me either in the comments on the video or by message that if I could make a video of the top 10 knives under $50. And that's what you got today. We're going to go over 10 knives under $50 that I think are the best options for that price range. Now, there's going to be some that might be missing that you may disagree with or you may not, but this is the best that I thought. So, and there's obviously a lot of good knives in this price range. In this price range, though, you are going to have majority of these knives be made overseas. It's very difficult to find a knife made in the USA under that $50 mark. There is a few on the table here, and we'll talk about those. But we're going to kind of just start same kind of format we did the last video. Just start with each one, kind of talk about it a little bit, give my thoughts and opinions on it, and then go from there. So stay tuned. All right. So the first knife we're going to talk about today is a knife I've reviewed on my channel. And this is one of the ones that's going to have a big brother also that's going to meet the requirements and be a good option too. So if you want, first let's talk about the Zancudo. This is the Esee Zancudo. It is a budget folder. Can be had under $30 pretty easily. Comes in a variety of colors. That's one reason why I picked this knife, because it's got so many options as far as your colors. You got your different blades, either stonewashed or coated. This is a Esee knife made for them by Blue Ridge Knives. So it's actually made in Taiwan, Aus 8 steel. This is, like I said, a smaller knife, but it's a great EDC knife. Smooth. It's got the frame lock design. I love the stonewash finish on the handle. Just a great knife for the money. I mean, deploys very quickly. It's ergonomic. It's got great ergos. It's a great little slicer. And it's got Aus 8 steel, which isn't the greatest, but for this price range, it can be expected. So the Esee Zancudo also has a big brother called the Esee Avispa. The Avispa is going to have closer to a 3.5-inch blade. It's a frame lock design also, and it looks similar to this, but it also shares a lot of similarities with the Ontario Rat 1, which is one of the other knives we'll be reviewing today. So if you want something a little bigger than the Zancudo, the Esee Avispa is also a great option. I just didn't have one on hand anymore to show in this video, so I figured since this is in the same family, we'd kind of relate that. So Esee Zancudo, one of the top 10 knives under $50. Instead of cutting out the camera, I'm just going to kind of transition to each one. The next one is the Ontario Rat 1, which we just kind of talked about. This is just kind of your standard run-of-the-mill Rat 1. These can be had for under $30 very easily. Aus 8 steel again. This one's actually really new. I've had probably like 6 of these things or more. These are also very highly collectible. If you want to collect knives, if you don't have a high budget, you can actually get this knife in like 10 different colors, I think, and different blade variations. KnifeWorks has the best selection if you're looking to buy them. They have a lot of exclusives to them for this knife. But this is an exceptional knife for the money. I mean, of all these 10, this could be thought of as probably one of the best options, if not the best. It's a large blade. It's pretty good size handle. It's over a 3.5-inch blade, Aus 8 steel again, but it's so smooth. I mean, this out-of-the-box smoothness is just ridiculous for a budget knife. It runs on washers, phosphorus bronze washers, so it has nice washers in there. The handles are nylon, which is my only, I would say, negative about this and a lot of these. Well, the Zancudo also is that the nylon handle. I'd love to have some G10. They do make this knife in G10 scales, but it's an assisted open version, and I'm not exactly sure if you can remove the assisted open because this knife opens so fast with the thumb studs manually. I don't know why you would ever need an assisted open knife. So it would have been nice to see them make this knife with G10 scales. Maybe just charge a little bit more money. Definitely would have been one I would want to buy. So Ontario Rat 1. This is one of my most gifted knives. I gift this knife a lot. When people ask for a knife that they don't want to spend under 30 bucks, this is like the one I tell them to get. Now this also has a little brother, the Rat 2. Identical knife, just smaller. It's got a 3-inch blade, 4-inch handle. So if you want something a little bit smaller EDC, get the Rat 2. Also can be had for very cheap. Also available in multiple colors. So this is one of those Hall of Fame knives. And a lot of guys are going to watch this video and be like, oh yeah, I've got a Rat 1. Or, you know, I totally agree. That's one of those top knives for sure. So when I did that last video, top knives under 100, a lot of people said, where's the Rat 1? Where's the Rat 1? And, you know, I purposely did that because I did mine a little bit more expensive. And I did them all that were made in the USA. Now this is made, actually I didn't make them, I think I did them all that were made in China. This is actually made in Taiwan, so this would have qualified, but I wanted to kind of save it for a video like this. This is one of the best knives you can get under 50 bucks. So that was the Rat 1. Next we're going to bring in the Spyderco Tenacious. Now real quick on this one, this isn't actually my knife. This is donated for this video by one of my viewers, also a fellow YouTuber, C. Spearman. I'll put a link in the description below to his channel. He sent this in for the video so I could review it because I do not own a Tenacious anymore. And again, this is a knife I've had many of. I mean, I've had the blue G10 one, I've had this black one, I've had the all black one, had my eye on the green one at one point. Another exceptional knife for the money. Now this one is made overseas, this is made in China also, which a lot of these knives will be. You know, that's just kind of how it is on this price point. It's very hard, like I said, to find them US made, but this isn't, forget about the Chinese part because this is an exceptional knife. If you can get over the steel, if you don't mind sharpening your knife more often, the 8CR13 takes a really good edge. It doesn't last as long as a lot of other steels, but it's a good steel, you know, and it works fine. You've also got multiple carry options on this one for tip up or tip down. You can see he's got a little lanyard here. Very smooth out of the box also for a budget knife. I mean, also on washers. I believe they use about 4 washers on this one. From that, you know, so they make it very smooth. And you do have a few different color options, but everyone should own a Tenacious. Now this also comes in a smaller version. There's the Ambitious and the Persistence. And those are all like a little bit smaller versions of the Tenacious, so those are ones to think about. And if you want something bigger, there's the Resilience as well. So this is Spyderco's budget line. This is pretty much what they offer for a budget knife. Everything else they have is over that $50 mark. But these are exceptional knives. If you want to get into the world of Spyderco, this is the gateway drug, so to speak. A lot of you can attest to that. Spyderco is a very addicting brand to collect. So there you go, Spyderco Tenacious, another top knife under 50 bucks. Now the next one I have on here could very well be, it's hard. This is one of the best knives ever, I think, made under $40 especially, but under $50. This is the new Kershaw CQC7. This is the Kershaw Emerson collaboration. You can see the Emerson there. Now I reviewed these on my channel as well. I reviewed actually every Emerson model, or Kershaw Emerson collaboration. But for what you get, the fit and finish of this knife, the smoothness, the frame lock design, the G10 scales, the great stonewashing, two-tone satin finish on the blade. This one's been used quite a bit, as you can see. I've sharpened it. I carry this knife all the time. This and the CQC6 are definitely the best, in my opinion, of the Kershaw Emerson collaborations. Some of the other ones I wasn't that fond of. I like the frame locks on these better, but I've had this knife since they were released, and it's in my weekly everyday carry rotation. I carry it every Tuesday in honor of Tanto Tuesday. But the 6K is also great if you don't want a Tanto. You've got a clip point blade on that. And like I said, this could very well be, look how smooth that is out of the box. I mean, that's not out of the box, but I've been using it, you know, and stuff, but that's just how smooth that knife is. And it has G10 scales, which in my opinion gets the nod over the Rat and the Zancudo and the Avispa and those lines because of that G10. So, and I like this over the Tenacious because it has a frame lock design. I prefer frame locks. It's just a little bit beefier. It feels like it could take a little bit more abuse. It's got great Emerson ergonomics, you know, designed by Emerson. Emersons are known for their ergos, but you've got the great fit and finish of the Kershaw. So that could possibly be the top knife under 50 bucks right there. I think it's the best knife made in China that's out there personally. So Kershaw CQC7. Next one is also a Kershaw, and I gotta be honest, I could have made this whole entire video about Kershaw knives because, in my opinion, they dominate this market. They absolutely have a ton of great options under $50 that are made overseas. If you're on a budget, you should have a few Kershaws. This is the Kershaw Nura 3.5. I had a tough time deciding between this one and the Kershaw strobe. I actually sold my strobe to a friend, so that's why I didn't have the strobe, but the strobe is definitely another great option in this price range. If you don't like the Nura's looks, get the strobe. The Nura is one of the new Kershaws, and I just did a review on this on my channel, that has the KVT ball bearing systems in it, which is exceptional for a budget knife. Now this one flips perfect. I mean, just light switch it, however you want to do it. It flips. It does not fail. It's super smooth. Some have said, I've heard a few negative reviews on this knife that it didn't flip well, and I can't imagine that being the case because it just, maybe their techniques are off. I don't know. It's very smooth. It's on bearings. It's got a nice custom look to it with that design. It's a Sienkiewicz knife. He designed the ZT454, which stay tuned on my channel for the review of that knife. Oh yes, I did grab one. But anyway, you've got designer pivot. You've got a nice designer pocket clip. Nice frame lock design on bearings. 3.5-inch blade. Also available. Great ergonomics. Very comfortable. Very thin. Open pillar design. Just got the one standoff here, and then this doohickey here. I'm not exactly sure what that is, but that's how you can change the pocket clip to both sides as well. So the Nura is a great option. It's one of Kershaw's new knives, and like I said, this and the strobe are both on the KVT, and the strobe does flip a little bit better because it's got a stronger detent, but sometimes that detent was a little too strong for my opinion. So definitely like the Nura 3.5. Easily had under $40. Got it's a nice looking, sleek, gentleman style folder. Great option. So Kershaw Nura 3.5. So we've covered quite a few of the overseas made knives. There is a few, actually 3 USA made knives in this video. Let's go ahead and talk about another Chinese made knife though. This is the CRKT Fossil. This knife may have the smoothest action of any budget folders that I've ever encountered. I mean, this is out of the box. This knife is actually pretty new. I've had one of these before and used it in quite a bit, so I knew I liked it. I wanted to get another one. You also got the 8CR13 MOV steel, right around a 3.5-inch blade. It's got a nice little bit of a recurve on it. It's just a really well-made knife. It's very smooth. It runs on IKBS bearings. I mean, look at that out of the box. It flips very nicely. Flips a little bit better than the Nura. It has a little bit stronger detent, more like the strobe, but not too strong. Flips just awesome. It's got a cool design. It's very unique. It's got these G10 overlays here. They're like an orange and black, and they're kind of cratered. And then the stainless steel frame lock's also cratered. So it's just a cool design. It's something different. I kind of wish they would have went with backspacers standoffs instead of a backspacer. But then the pocket clip's pretty cool. It's a good design. It carries pretty deep, and it doesn't get in the way. There's really not any hot spots with this knife. It's a good sized blade. I mean, it fits my hand like perfectly. And you've got a good sized blade. It's got great blade to handle ratio, which a lot of knives don't have. So Fossil, I think I got this one for $46 on Blade HQ's website. So definitely under that $50 mark. This is the medium, I guess they call it. They also have a large version that has a bigger blade, I think closer to 4 inches. So if you want a little bit bigger knife, you have that option. But I'm telling you, for a flipper, this is one of the best flippers I have in my collection, and it's a sub $50 knife. So made in China, but the fit and finish has been fine on it. It's, like I said, exceptionally smooth. It's just a fun one to flip, to play around with. It does carry well. It would make a good EDC knife as well, but just a great flipper. So under 50 bucks, just barely, but it does meet the requirements, and it is a CRKT Fossil. Okay, next one. Kind of going by price here. I think we'll get with the Leek. Now, this is my wife's knife, hence it's purple. I don't own any Leeks currently. I did a video on that 10 under 100. The Leek was in that video. That was the black wash Leek, and that was a frame lock. Now this is a liner lock design. This one they have in many different colors. I mean, golly, there's so many variations of the Leek. It's probably one of the most has most options out there for a knife in so many different colors. You got a frame lock, you got liner locks, you've got Damastic blades, you've got, you know, someone had a limited run that had G10 scales. So it's just, you know, a great option. This is a repeat from that video, but again, this is under 50 bucks, and then this one is made right here in the US of A. It's assisted opening, got that Warncliffe blade. My wife actually loves this knife. I gave it to her for Christmas last year, and she loves it. She likes the color, she likes the knife, she actually uses it quite often. So, hence but she doesn't know how to, she doesn't carry it in her pocket. That's probably why the clip's tip down. And I would say the one negative of the Leek is the clip. If you want to carry tip up, which I do, you have quite a bit of knife showing. There is a guy on Blade Forums that does make custom clips now for the Kershaw Leek that are deep carry. So if you're interested in the Leek and that's kind of held you off, there is an option out there. Again, USA made knife, 14C 28N steel, so you got a little bit upgraded steel on the Sandvik steel, and this is made in the US, so that is a big plus. So the Kershaw Leek is definitely a great option under $50. Alright, so the next up is going to be the Kershaw Skyline. Now this is a different version. This is the carbon fiber S30V. This is going to be over $50, but they do make many Kershaw Skylines under $50. The standard Skyline I think can be had for $30, $40 these days. It's an exceptional knife, one of my all-time favorite EDC knives. I think one of the best knives ever made for everyday carry. Just a good size, great ergos. You got the nice flipper for deployment. Very collectible. They've had so many different versions of the Skyline out there over the years. It's just one of the all-time, you know, Hall of Fame type knives. This one in particular obviously is a little bit more premium, but you can easily find one for under $30 or under $40, excuse me. So Kershaw Skyline, made in the USA, 14C 28N steel, a little bit better steel than the OS 8s and the 8CR13s in my opinion. So you get an upgraded steel, you get made in the USA, made in the USA pride, I guess you want to say. Great warranty through Kershaw. I mean, again, you can't go wrong with the Skyline. One of the best knives under $50 out there. We're going to talk next about the Cold Steel American Lawman. Now this one is right there on the very verge of $50. Amazon has them for right at 50 bucks, maybe $1 over, sometimes a couple dollars under. But it does count. It is under that $50 mark. One thing I made sure I did in this video that I didn't do in the last is, you know, I did add a couple knives in the last video that are over $100 except for when you buy them on the secondary market. On purpose on this video, I made sure that all these can be bought brand new. If you don't want to deal with secondary market, you can get all these brand new, all these knives in this video for under 50 bucks. The Lawman is a great knife. It's got great ergonomics. I mean, exceptional ergonomics. It's got this nice forward choil here if you want to choke up for a little more fine work. 3.5-inch OS 8A steel, which just is their annealed version of OS 8. Cold Steel actually does a great job on the heat treat of OS 8, I think, so I think it actually is one of the better OS 8s out there. You get super grippy G10 scales. I mean, geez, these things really bite you. So if you're looking for a tactical style folder, if you are a law enforcement officer, if you are military or, you know, first responder, you need something a little harder use in that price range, this is the way to go, because this has the vulnerable triad lock that is rock solid. I mean, this knife is, and it is a little bit harder to disengage that lock one-handed, I think. They do smooth that over time, but overall, I mean, you got bronze washers. It's actually a pretty smooth knife for being a lock back, but the ergonomics on this knife are just fantastic. I mean, they're just great, and I think it looks really cool too. And it's probably the closest you'd get to an Andrew Demko 8010, I think, in Cold Steel's line. That's his custom knife that costs, you know, quite a bit more money. But he is the inventor of the triad lock, and he does a lot of his designs for Cold Steel. So I did get this knife for under 50 bucks on Amazon. Last I checked, it was just a touch over $50. But, you know, like I said, they're available out there. There's some on eBay for less than 50, and it's a great knife. Really dig it for the money. It's right up there at the top. But like I said, it is a very hard use folder. Very, very tough. I mean, you're going to be hard pressed to have this lock fail on you. So there you go, Cold Steel American Lawman. The Voyager is also another good option that kind of earns honorable mention here. I didn't get that one for the video because of the FRN handles. I think this is better just because of the G10. I just prefer the G10. Same lock, same steel, Just you get a little bit, you get that real grippy G10, so that's why I chose the American Lawman. And last but not least, and this was also reviewed in that other video, is the Kershaw Blur. Now this one again is on loan to me from none other than C. Spearman, the gentleman that sent me the Spyderco Tenacious, also known as the Fat Man. He's a hilarious guy. You have to go check out his videos because they're really funny. He does a lot of good knife videos too, but he does some goofy videos that always make me laugh. So I appreciate him sending in the Blur. I know that's shocking that me of all people doesn't have a Blur in my collection. I've had more Blurs than any other knife ever. And again, an extremely collectible knife. It comes in different colors, different steels. That same gentleman that makes the deep carry clips for the Blur, or for the Leek, makes them for the Blur also. And they're actually selling on eBay right now. So that's one of my one complaint about the Blur. I do not like the pocket clip, especially if you're carrying tip up. Guess what? There is now a deep carry option. So that's pretty sweet. Now this one is assisted open. This is the partially serrated version that he just sent to me for the video, which I really appreciate. And I almost picked up the silver twill navy blue limited edition one, but that one's a little pricey for my liking right now for a Blur. But so the Kershaw Blur is made in the USA. You can go into Walmart and buy one for like $40. You can get them anywhere for under $50. I mean, they're just readily available for that price. I know Kershaw guy sells the standard black with black blade for like, I think $40-45, brand spanking new. He's also got blems on his website. If you don't mind a blem, you can get a blem. What I love about the Blur is the great ergos. I like that you can de-assist the knife, or you can leave in the spring if you want to keep it assisted. But I do prefer the manual, and they're a really smooth manual once you take out the spring. Because this isn't my knife, I'm not going to do that. But the Blur, I mean, under $50, USA made, 14C8 28-inch steel is the standard steel I use on these. Now there's also an S30 version that's going to cost you over $50. There is a CPM 154 version out there, or 154 CM, excuse me. There's quite a few different versions of steel out there, but the Blur is one of the top knives ever under $50. And this is an old model. I mean, Kershaw's been selling the Blur for years, so it's out. But I think that's going to wrap up the video, guys. I was trying to keep it around that 20-minute mark I did the last one. I think I succeeded. We'll see when I edit and complete the video, but top 10 knives under $50. There you go. I'll list all these in the description. And I'm also going to list a link where you can buy them for under $50 if you're interested in that. So any questions or comments, please leave them down below, and we'll see you next time.